Okay, welcome back here to Roycewood Automotive. We're inside the Cougar, and I wanted to do some updates here for everybody. I've installed the heater core in the car. You can actually see the front of the control device that we showed on the last video. Right back in there. Still don't have a radio, but not concerned about radios right now. Let's see here, went ahead and made a little panel right here to block out, used to be an ashtray right there, so no smoking on this end. But I went ahead and used that panel so I could put in some other controls here for the blower motor for the heater. This is our switch for our heater, turning it up and down. This is a switch I installed here. Double pole, double throw switch. It's on, off, on. This actually, I set this up so I could turn on and off my auxiliary transmission pump, my Zilla water cooler pump, which I'll get some video of that here in a minute. That's installed, and the cooling fans for the Zilla water pump. But I wanted to have a switch here so I could turn the key on and not have that auxiliary pump running when I didn't need it. You know, I'm running a lot of tests and things of that nature. And plus, like, let's say it's a cold morning out and I want to turn my heater on without actually letting that pump just sit and run and run and run while the interior of the car warms up. I can now just turn that off, and then when I get in the car, just flip the switch up and turn that pump on. So, but anyways, we've got power. Go ahead and give our Zilla the start signal there, and it has done its pre-charge routine and powered up. I wanted to go ahead and this is our blower control to turn our fan up. It's quite powerful. Turn that back down. That's the same blower that we have for our motor, but it obviously I'm only running it at 12 volts in here. So, but anyways, I wanted to go ahead and you know, fire this up. We get quite a bit of air flow through through it. You can see it's actually moving that floor mat down there once it's wide open. But anyways, I wanted to show our ability to make heat, and with our first switch thrown, we're already getting good heat out of the unit there. And it's mild. It's not anything, you know, like running you out of the car. It's a very mild, very low level heat. You know, and obviously if we want to go warmer, we go up to the next switch, and instantly, I mean, it's an instantaneous response. We start to feel the more heat coming out, and I've also got it up here blowing out of the dash here where the dash vents are, and feels really good up there. Feels very nice. And then when we go wide open, we've got, you know, let's go ahead and melt some ice because it's really warm now coming out of there. And, you know, it's just real nice to have that kind of control over that ceramic heater. That way, again, you don't have just full-on heat when it's not that cold. And again, we can just shut it all down and leave the fan blowing. And we get, you know, immediately it shuts off, it starts to cool down. And, you know, again, you turn that blower up the whole way, get some air through it, and it's nice and cold again. And you know, I ran this through my through the main contact. This is not connected directly to the battery pack. I would never recommend that. You always need a breaker in between, and you know, that's what we've done there with a big contactor. So this unit, that PTC heater, does not get power without the contactor being closed. You know, you break the contactor, it separates it from the battery pack. You know, with a you know, I've got a Bubba, Kilovac Bubba in the car for that, and you know, that way we've got heat now, so we're ready to go. I also installed my HEPA pedal in the car, and it works really good. If I throttled up, my motor will spin. There's our RPM meter. So we get good response from that. I can't get too carried away with revving that up. Again, I'm still running on my little DC power supply that is that I use for testing and things of that nature. So anyways, we can step outside the car and show you the progress under the hood so far. Okay, outside the car, and I wanted to show everybody this is our cooler bottle for the Zilla. I don't know, see if you can see our coolant level right there. Nice little tank. I picked that up on eBay for $19 shipped, and you know, it's a nice little coolant tank. A lot of people use them as oil separators for their IEC cars, but I thought it'd make a nice little coolant reservoir. So there you go, and you know, looks good in the car. Obviously, we've got all of our hosing and everything hooked up for our Zilla, and that's our pump down there. It is very quiet, moves a substantial amount of coolant. Might even throw a motor controller on that to try and slow it down a little bit if I can. I think it moves a little too fast, but anyways, we did secure our cables here to keep them from moving around. This is the inside of my little box there that people have seen before. Obviously, I had that apart, gaining access to the Bubba that's tucked away in there, and obviously I've got the big jumper cables here hooked up to my test power supply down there, just to get power and to run tests and things of that nature. Back there in the corner, this is the filter for the blower motor. Filter the air coming in the car, and this is obviously our filter for the blower that keeps our motor cold. So there you go with that. That's our update on that stuff, and we're getting close to you know, having everything ready to go. Okay, now we're at the trunk of the car. Wanted to show everybody our battery box that we're using, all aluminum, and it drops in place of where the gas tank of the car used to be. And this is obviously a little bit shallower. We didn't need all that space. Originally, I had a box that was bigger, but we ended up cutting it almost in half as far as how far down it hung below the car. It took away from the looks of the car. I didn't care for it hanging down that low, and we wanted it tucked away and to where it couldn't be seen. But obviously, I'll make a cover to go across here, you know, bolt on top of this. I'm going to line this with the rubber flashing, you know, to provide some insulation and some you know, vibration resistance. Although my battery modules will be bolted down to this. So, but anyways, we've got that done. We want to send props out to my brother for the aluminum welding. Very nice job on welding the aluminum. If anybody needs any aluminum welded up, let me know. We can get that taken care of for you. If you have your pieces cut, you know, we can certainly help folks out with that. And there's that. That's our amperage shunt for the JLD 404. That's the big one. That's the 1500 amperage shunt there. I'm going to make a cover to go over this, and you know, that way it's isolated, and there's that. One of the other things that I'm working on here is the DC to DC converter, and what I wanted to build was a capacitor bank to filter out the noise on the system. And basically I just took a sheet of double-sided copper and isolated with my Dremel. You can see the lines there. It's the same on both sides, although the capacitors are covering it on this side. But anyways, you know, these are, I picked these capacitors just so I can, eventually I plan on increasing my voltage as we can. These are 250 volt, 1500 picofarad capacitors that I had for another project that I was working on. And again, you know, we'll get this put in the system. Obviously, we'll build a box for this and put our bicore DC to DC converters in there, and you know, get that all squared away. But just wanted to give a picture of that with hot glue in there to keep them from bouncing around in the, you know, vibration environment that keeps those snug against one another and snug against the board. I will mount that board on something and get it put in a box, and you know, that way it'll serve its purpose. But just wanted to give a picture of that, and you know, let everybody see what we're working on there. Obviously, we'll do a we'll have this with a what do you want to call it, diode in there to keep them from backfeeding into the system, try to recharge the batteries. Obviously we don't want to do that, but these are kind of overkill. These, like I say, I mean, these are 250 volt capacitors. I'll never ever run at that voltage. Highest I want to run is 180 volts. You know, so anyways, but again, I don't want these to try and run the motor and make them pop. So, but anyways, there you go. Just wanted to show you guys that, and we'll keep you up to date on that progress and go from there. Like I said earlier, we're getting really close on the car. We need to pick up a few more items, and we'll be up and running. And obviously we'll have video of that as well. So you know, until next time, be safe.